Dame's in the building. What up?
What's up?
What's poppin', man? How you feeling?
Feeling great.
Boy, I got the shades on.
I know. All pinked out, fresh cut.
Got the new merch on.
New merch.
Oh, word?
Yes,
Contrary to norm. Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. So this one of the tracks on my new album, Hell Now, Heaven Later. I got some merch dropping this week. And, yeah, all designed by me.
Word.
So yeah, I'm excited about it.
So how many different pieces you got on this? It's on your website, right?
Yeah, on my website,
Okay.
shop.damesmusic.com. I did about 9 to 12 different pieces. I got like sweaters, hoodies, AirPod cases, phone cases, crop tops, the whole nine. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right, I definitely need a crop top and a hoodie. And last time you was here, you told us that you wanted to spread your wings. You was trying to get a foot in a bunch of different lanes while focusing on your music. It's been a couple months since then. How you feel like you're doing on that path?
I mean, just speaking on the merch, man, like that's something like that's definitely a new like avenue for me because I've been doing the music thing for almost about 10 years now, and I've been wanting to do merch for a long time and just never really knew like how to start. Was kind of scared for a while, but finally decided to just say F it and just go for it. So.
Now, Dan, you just said 10 years. Now, these people listening, they can't see how young you is. You better tell these people how long you been with. Look, what age did you start working on your craft and deciding to take music seriously? Let's refresh their minds.
Well, I probably started working on my craft when I was a little boy, but I started taking it seriously when I was like 19 in college, and I'm 29 now. So yeah, it's been a minute.
All right, so the new album is called Hell Now, Heaven Later.
Yes, sir.
All right, tell us about how you came up with that title and why.
It came to me a few years ago. I want to say maybe as early as like 2019 or so, and I just kind of locked it in. But for me, it just kind of means like I'm kind of like going through some tough times right now, or at least have been, and it still is, and still am. And like Heaven Later represents like optimism basically, and just kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel, wanting to just keep going and not give up, and use that adversity as fuel for the fire, really. So Hell Now, Heaven Later just kind of represents like perseverance throughout adversity and life's challenges.
All right, so tell me, you got 17 tracks on this new joint. All right, tell me about the ones that speak the most to you.
That's hard because all of them speak to me, man. Definitely Contrary to Norm. I feel like that's probably my favorite. I feel like it kind of like encapsulates the album the most within that record. But I mean, you got other songs on there like Through the Fire, the intro, really sends a message home. What else? Damien's Interlude. I'm really singing on this album too. So
okay,
like, yeah, it's like it's you got so many different. What I really love about the record is like it definitely showcases a lot more of my musicality than I feel like my last couple projects did. You got so many different forms of hip hop. I mean, from trap to boom bap to conscious rap to emo rap to whatever style and rap you want to listen to, and you also got a lot of R&B and soul and but it's all real cohesive and it all blends together, into a body of work.
Dope. News and Talk 1380 WALK, Voice in the Streets Unfiltered. You've just tuned in. We're talking to Dames. He has a new album out called Hell Now, Heaven Later. You can definitely go to his website to check it. It's on DSPs already yet?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
At all DSPs, you can go check it out. All right, so you got this joint called Unorthodox.
Yep.
Right, and I feel like you got Contrary to Norm. What makes you unorthodox, and why write that song?
I feel like Unorthodox is kind of like, that's another one that I feel like represents, just really represents me and as an artist, as a person. I think like one of the first couple of lines was, as a boy, I asked myself if I was ready. The life you about to live gonna be exceptionally heavy. The rooms that you walk into gonna be filled with much objection. The world gonna make it harder to just look at your reflection. Me just be me who I am. I feel like who I am represents, being unorthodox. Like being LGBT in hip hop, being a black man in America. You know what I'm saying? And just striving for my dream. Coming from a place where people don't really dream. I feel like even still dreaming at my age is unorthodox in itself. So I just, try to represent like, that it's okay to be who you are regardless of what that is, the space for all of us. And yeah, go tap into that song and that album too.
Yeah, so we don't hear a lot from artists who are, I guess, vocal about being LGBTQIA plus and in that community and stuff like that. And so, growing up, you hear stories of like, yo, if that's the path you're gonna choose or whatever like that. Like you said, it's gonna be rough, it's gonna be tough. People are not gonna be accepting of you. What have you found in your journey to being an artist and finding your sound and making your mark and being contrary to the norm? What are some of the things that you faced or you experienced in, just trying to get out there? Like, are there roadblocks that you face when, like, maybe it's media outlets, maybe not want to cover your story or may not want to play your music or, building that fan base? Like, what are some of the things that you're persevering through and overcoming that may feel like hell now? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, yeah, absolutely. From media outlets to performance opportunities to other artists that I would potentially want to work with, collaborate with. I took a course on intersectionality when I was in college. And I even have a song called Intersections that's on one of my earlier projects. I feel like that course really helped me to understand even my own like life and path and like what I would have to deal with at the intersection of being Black, being in the LGBT space, being a man, being all of who I am and how those things intersect. You got people that hate Black people just for hating Black people, right? You got people that hate gay people just for hating gay people. Some of those people happen to be Black.
Yeah.
And it intersects. And so it's very complex, and you deal with a lot of like different obstacles from all angles, even from your own people sometimes. So you just have to learn how to just navigate it. I try not to use it as a excuse, but just try to use it as fuel to keep going.
You said you had a whole lot of different eclectic like sounds and stuff like that on this album that you may not have experimented with before. Like, what was that process like of creating the new sounds and stuff like that?
So it was more so like kind of returning back to what I was doing when I first started out versus like creating new sounds. Because when I was first starting out, I was doing a lot of the music that like how this album sounds, and I think over time my like up tempo, the club like bangers, that sound became most popular.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to focus on that sound for a couple projects. And so I think for this one, it's kind of like a return back to really just wanted to showcase my musicality and not wanted to pigeonhole myself into, because for a lot of people that may have just now be tapping in the last couple of years, they may not be familiar with my earlier catalog, and they may not really know, what I can really do.
The range.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So this was basically wanting to show people like, I can do more than spit a 16.
Yeah.
I can do, I can do it all. So yeah.
It's crazy. We were just having a debate about this same thing where I was telling him how many artists incorporate singing and rapping to show how talented they are, and how now it's kind of to show that you can actually be versatile. That's what you do now.
Yeah.
It doesn't really set you aside from everybody. It just shows that you can, actually be musically talented. And I commend you for that. So I'm happy we have somebody, from now. Why are you staring at me like that? No, it's fine.
Are you trying to say that I've said that?
It's fine. I was just asking Dames,
okay.
what made you go with 17 songs? Because, a lot of people, everything I see when people trying to, create more and more buzz on themselves, they give teasers to people, 4 songs here, 8 songs here, 12. You went 17. There's got to be at least an hour of music, right? Close to an hour, right?
Yeah, it's definitely clocking in at exactly an hour and a minute, I think.
Okay, that's all right. I'm right on things. So what made you, why do you want people to sit with you for an hour? So why?
For me, so I've done, this is my 6th project. I've done a couple of EPs. My first project was an EP. My last project was an EP. Because it's today's climate, you want to give people teasers and EPs. That's kind of the way to go. For me, I really struggle with that because I'm such an album artist, and I feel like it's hard to get the gist of who I am as an artist, as a person, with just one record, or just 2, or just 3, or just 4, or just 5. And so I like to curate and really spend my time building a body of work. Like that's what I really enjoy doing. And I feel like I can paint a whole picture a lot better than I can do with just a 5-track EP or just a single. And so this is definitely my longest project. 17 tracks. I just had a lot to get off, man. For me, this project wasn't about like commercial success or trying to like, get the best record deals. For me, it was just about like getting what I needed to get off for me and my healing and my mental health, and so that I could like allow myself to create what I want to create after that.
So let's talk about that mental health, healing, and all that stuff. Like, 17 tracks, like you said, it's a long. How do you know you done? Like how do you know? Like, okay, I've said all I need to say.
Right.
I've put the playlist or the track listing. I've curated the best. Like, how do you know?
That's a great question, man.
Yeah.
I think you just kind of know. Like, it's just something that just kind of like when I'm building the track list and I'm like sequencing the songs, because I want to make sure I'm giving like certain feelings. You know, you got to ask yourself when you starting to curate the project, like what feelings am I trying to give people? What message am I trying to send to people? Like, what do I want people to take away from it when they get done listening to it? I think that helps a lot too, when that guides you to like pick which songs that you want to put on the project and like what order and you know how you want it to end, because like, that also plays a big role, because that feeling, because I feel like even like the last song kind of has like a dark and mellow tone to it, but there's also like a optimism layer to it too, where I'm like basically, you know, asking God, praying to God for some help, and at the end I'm saying, you know, it's a hard life, but it's mine, you know, like I'm owning the struggle and saying, okay, you know, I can do this, I got this. And so I feel like it took, for me, I feel like for this project, it took those 17 tracks to really paint that picture that I was trying to paint. And so I think it just depends on, you know, the project for real. But you just know.
You know what I'm saying? When you first sat down, you were telling us about your experiences through music. And, you know what I'm saying, we know that you have a fan base that you know what I'm saying, you've curated over the years. Mm-hmm. So what do you want this album to say to those people that are your fans? Like, you saying this is your most, maybe not your darkest, but it seems like this is you being
darkest.
All right,
sure.
so your darkest. So this is you in your introspective bag. You giving them you.
Yeah.
Like maybe the song, maybe the albums before that was because I wanted you guys to dance, maybe like me a little bit. But this is y'all like, either y'all like me or you don't. I'm trying to talk to you.
Right.
I make clothes, I sing, I rap. This is me. Now I'm gonna tell you what I don't like.
You drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah.
So what do you want people? Maybe a 14-year-old kid, you know what I'm saying, no matter where they at in the country, they hear that, they turn this on for the first time. What do you want them to think about you when they hear this? Or the music?
You would hit the nail on the head, bro, for real, because I feel like for me, when I go into, like I was saying, when I go into creating these projects, I ask myself, you know, I look at what I've done, my discography, and, you know, I never want to try to do the same thing twice, right? So I try to say,
exactly,
you know, what did I do last time? What I want to do this time? The last couple of projects, that was the mentality, especially during COVID. You know, I wanted people to feel good, you know, escapism and like party music, and we ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? But it got to a point where like I couldn't keep ignoring what was going on for real, you know? So for me, this project was, I want people to hear this, and for my whole life I've been judged because I like to present myself a certain way. People assume that I don't go through nothing, but I didn't been through it all. And so I want people to hear it and hear like we all go through it. You're not alone. You know what I'm saying? And that it's okay to go through. It's okay to need help. It's okay to talk about needing help. It's okay to not be in the best place mentally. And you know, it's okay to need help. It's okay to go through it. Life ain't always partying and good times and you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're gonna lose friends. Sometimes you're gonna go through traumatic situations. Sometimes you're gonna be depressed. Sometimes you're gonna get your heart broken. That's just life, and you know, it ain't all parties. So I just wanted my music to reflect, you know, who I am as a person. I'm not partying right now. I ain't been outside like that this year. I would be remiss as an artist if I didn't allow my music to reflect even what I had going on.
Yeah.
You hear that, Rod Wave? You hear him?
News and Talk 1380 WAOK, Voice in the Streets Unfiltered. You've just tapped in with us. Shout out to you on the Odyssey app. We're talking to Dames. He has a new album out called Hell Now, Heaven Later.
Yes, sir.
It's on all digital streaming platforms. Now, you got a couple of looks, right? You know, you and Lil Nas X appeared at the Beyonce Renaissance World Tour. You got the docuseries. Like, how has that, like, being, I guess, getting more attention, how does that affect like your healing and your mental health? Does that help it? Does it take away from it? You know what I mean?
That's a good question.
I'm only asking because like Megan Thee Stallion just dropped this new song called Cobra. I don't know if you heard it yet, but
fire.
Yeah, shout out to
shout out to Megan.
Fire.
It is fire, and she's letting out a lot of her frustration of like how she didn't had a drinking problem. She missed her parents. She went through all this stuff when all the lights and she was down in attention,
Right.
but nobody was really there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to assume what it's like to live your life or what you got going on, but if you getting some buzz now and people seeing you, but you got really these issues that's going on, like
Right.
how does that affect the music? How do you feel about that?
I don't think it hurts it because I mean, you know, buzz don't hurt. Like this is my dream. So
Yeah.
like, this what I you know, nobody put a gun in my head and told me to pursue this. Like this is what I want to do. My mama wanted me to be a doctor.
Oh, word.
So, you know what I'm saying? This is something that I want for my life, my dream. So I'm gonna get it. Any means necessary. So it definitely don't hurt it. I think it just kind of boils down to making sure you have good people around you, and that's what I've been trying to do too. Like I feel like in this whole process, you know, you lose people inevitably.
Yeah.
People that you thought were gonna be around for forever or for a long time, and unfortunately they, you know. But what I've also learned during this process as when you ascending, everybody's not meant to ascend with you, and people, you're gonna lose people. It's like it's just natural. When somebody told me that, it just kind of clicked for me. So I don't know. I find a different ways to handle it now. I'm not holding on to dead weight, you know, and people that aren't meant for me, that don't really got my best interest at heart, that don't really love me for real. So yeah, I'm just moving different.
Which is most people, surprisingly.
Most people,
when you get
right,
older.
right? Yeah, that's true.
We ain't never asked you, but I don't feel like we didn't ask you last time you were here. Who your favorite artist of all? Not all time, because I feel like I can guess.
Who would you guess?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Beyonce.
Dang, you right. Dang, you must have read my bio.
You did a little homework.
Did I?
Did some research.